Hey, yeah, welcome to my stream again. Today I want to create this demon head here. Um, yeah, and as I always start with a sphere, please do me a favor, and when you create models for animation or for um, games, then please do not use a sphere as your starting point, because um, yeah, make your life easier and take models like pre-made, whoops, like pre-made, yeah, humanoid models also. Let's start. Today I will create this demon just from one sphere because it doesn't make sense to separate it because it's actually pretty amorphic. Um, hey, welcome to my stream. Um, yeah, it's pretty amorphic, so it doesn't make sense to check the anatomy and so on. So this will be um, more like a free model, and I will um, just try to match the concept as good as possible. So don't worry when it's a little bit different from humanoid models, from faces and this stuff. Uh, Workflow is a little bit different. So for humanoid models, I would always use at least two spheres. But like I said, make your life easier and do not use spheres as your starting point. Use humanoid models, pre-made models for this. And yeah, it's again just a blocking stage. And I will just figure out what I need on this model, on this particular model, and yeah, see if yeah, where I need separate objects. Like on the horns, I would use separate objects like this. Doesn't have to be beautiful at the start, just functional. So it does represent your model or your objects you want to create. Yes, I'm from Germany. I'm living here, and yeah. Um, Let me see. I placed my background image a little bit more to the side, so I can see my own model a little bit better. I will see if this works for me or not. If I need it in the center of my canvas or not. And now when I have some kind of landmarks, you are living in Germany as well. I do not talk German on stream because most people are not German speaking people. So just that we understand each other. Okay, I have my landmarks. I have some eye holes here and the mouth. It doesn't represent this piece, but it doesn't have to. I just want to have a representation. And because I have a frontal view, I can use easily a front snap and work on the head just from this perspective at first. So my first approach is working from one perspective, and then I get to other perspectives and work more on, yeah, some kind of anatomy. I know it's a demon, it's a monster, but even they have some kind of anatomy. So I really recommend to learn human anatomy a lot, because when you know human anatomy, then you can apply this knowledge to monsters, to even when you are creating animals. It's easier to do animals when you know human anatomy, because the anatomy is actually not far away from humans. I think for now I will combine these pieces, because there is happening something underneath the horns. I don't know exactly how it works there. That's why I combine them and work my way towards it. And then I will see if I need to combine or if I need to separate them or not. So like I said, on more like free pieces like this, it makes sense to work like more freely, more in one piece. So it's more challenging actually to work on pieces like this, because you do not have a side view or other views for this demon. German art streamers, actually not. I don't know any. Of course, there are many, but I don't know them. And they talk in English as well, I think, because English is more, yeah, more suitable for more people. Okay, now I'm matching the horns. After my last stream, I worked on this soldier further. And I spent about 1 or 2 hours more on it. And like I said on the stream, sometimes you are not satisfied with the how your character looks, and just some hours more can be can improve your art a lot. So take your time for this. yeah, many people are learning from for a hobby, or sculpting or modeling for a hobby. Um, yeah, I'm curious what you do with your hobby. I mean, do you do printing or game design, or do you create a like a portfolio? Um, yeah, many people are just hobbyists in this. Welcome everybody. So I'm reading uh, some of your comments at this site. Actually, I'm not a huge monster sculptor or creator. So it's like a practice for me as well. So I'm sorry when the outcome will be not perfect or so. This is just a practice, and I want in my portfolio I want just some pieces more, some like monsters and goblins and orcs and I don't know what, and yeah, just to fill up my portfolio a bit more. Would you recommend to learn anatomy? Yes, learn it a lot when you are serious with this hobby or job. I don't know if you are just a hobbyist or do you want to do it as a job. I really, really, really recommend to learn anatomy a lot. This is this should be this should be actually 100% of your learning as a beginner. Do not learn any programs when you are a beginner. Let me save this progress. I know maybe there are other artists who are telling you other things. Maybe they tell like, oh, when you should start early with ZBrush, Photoshop, whatever. But um, I have another opinion. I think you should learn first. You should learn art fundamentals, and this is anatomy, about 80% anatomy. Other perspective, or the other 20%, I would say perspective, color theory, and this stuff. Let me see if my stream is still online because I get messages that the connection is broken, but I think it works. So yeah, anatomy learning when you're really serious with this, like I said, hobby or job, then you should learn anatomy a lot, especially for character creation. Doesn't matter if you're creating demons or whatever, because they have also nose and nostrils, eyes, teeth. You should know how this works, how teeth are growing out of your own um, gums. I think gums is the right word for Let me see. Like I said, I'm not creating demons or monsters a lot. So I have to work my way through and watch for a good strategy to create it and to not to lose too much time on it. Because when you are creating characters for a studio, time and money is the uh, biggest issue actually on in studios. And that's because, of course, studios are very under time pressure because they have yeah, like um, they want to bring out their game, and they do not have the time to, or yeah, the manpower to spend it on people who are still learning. Of course, studios should teach more, especially beginners. But most most studios cannot teach anyone to do things. That's why they require you to be a full developed artist when you're going to a studio. Like always, I'm spending a lot of time. I think I will spend a lot of time on the eyes because I want to create them correctly, or they should be in this for this character, like um, not correct, but uh, threat threatful. Of course, you can use other techniques here. I'm just using sculpting. Yeah, like the the usual way. So I'm not using any primitives here because it's, like I said, it's more free. It's more like a free form. I'm placing some nostrils. And yeah, it's like I said, you should know anatomy a lot because how does this nose work actually on this demon? You have to mix it like with fantasy and with your um, real anatomy knowledge. So it looks believable, but not human, not human-like. And for this, you need anatomy a lot. You have to know how it works on a real person. I mean, and then abstract towards something that is less humanoid. I'm placing just some details to orient myself where how big the teeth should be and this stuff. And as a 3D artist or designer, you are actually clarifying what this cheekbone look like. Okay, is it is it a spike that comes out, or um, is it just a form like this here? Okay, so you as a designer, you decide what you want to do with this piece. So I decide, I think a spike here would be pretty cool, but it doesn't mean that this stays in the model or this is the um, only way to do it. Mm, are you planning to open a Discord server that may help you to grow your community? Actually, I thought about it, but I I actually have no idea how it works. Um, and I have no time to manage these things. Like, I mean, I have to keep it like um, I have to keep a mind in an eye on it. To Yeah, like people are telling bad stuff about each other or whatever, and I have to keep an eye on it and be like a babysitter there. And actually, I have no time for this. So people are not behaving in a correct way, like I would, um, like I would prefer it. So sharing, I don't know what, yeah, and this stuff, I have no time to keep an eye on it. So I'm not planning having a Discord server right now. And I actually do not know what um, the purpose actually is of this service, because actually when you have some questions, you can ask on my stream, or when you are not live on my stream, then you can ask, of course, in the comment section. And when you want to get more like in-depth analysis of your portfolio or whatever, uh, you can become a patron. And the other stuff, you actually can read or watch it on other forums. When you have a specific question about, I don't know, game game design, game art, whatever it is, you can watch, of course, on other forums. And I don't know if I can manage a full like like a forum. I mean, yeah, I hope you get what I mean. Pinch this a little bit. So when you're starting your character, then sometimes things are more bulky and this stuff. And sometimes it helps when you just pinch things down. Oh, you're learning German as a hobby. I thought you're learning 3D art as a hobby. Yeah, then actually good luck learning German because I'm learning some kind of as a hobby or some kind of as a it's of course a part of my job learn English. I learned Spanish in school for 4 years. It's not good. My Spanish is not good. Um, and yeah, Turkish I know just çok güzel because here in Germany we have many many Turkish people, and I had some Turkish friends in my at school, and of course at work. Colleagues, Turkish colleagues at work. Yeah. Is there a reason why you are learning German? Do you want to live in Germany, or because most people are when they learn something, then what they want to get like um, get there or not getting there. I mean, not live there, but I think my demon was a little bit too wide, so I decided to make the head a little bit more slim. And just reposition it like this. So it's a development process here again. I actually like it when a demon has small eyes on a big head. So I would like to replicate this effect here as well. In this stage, you can of course create your Z-remesh model to have more control over like edge loops around the eyes and so on. I already for the background, I already did some kind of a little tutorial. I can show it. So you can rewatch the last live stream. at the beginning, I told how I do the background. So like I created a custom tool set here, but you find these tools in these menus. I use this tool here on draw, this down here. So when you Google for it, you get a very good tutorial for it from another person, because I'm not good in creating tutorials. I'm more like, and I was as a student, I was the same actually. I'm more like, I'm learning from watching. I'm not learning a lot from tutorials. When I do not know a button, then I get a tutorial. But when I see a demon head or whatever someone's creating, then I watch how it's created, but I do not watch every single button this person uses. And I want to get into ZBrush as quick as possible on my own and try out and learn like some kind of own techniques. There are no techniques behind it or special techniques behind it, but I'm not a huge, like I said, tutorial guy. Learning by doing is much better because you're running into your own problems and you're solving your own problems. And I think when you learn this way, then you learn more efficient. But in the introduction, you see how I use this. You can actually load these images here on this button, load image, and then you have your image in the background. And when your daemon is more more like messy like this, it's absolutely okay, because I actually want this effect on him, that he is not yeah, like perfectly built. And I'm creating these spikes here. Oh, the camera is blowing up. Sorry. I have to close. It was dark all day, and now the sun is coming out. So I actually have to have a more like a custom light setup here. I think uh, I think it's better to have a custom light set than being depending on the sun. That's or on the daylight. On this piece, actually, I like these. I like the style here, and I like these spikes here. But for now, I have no idea how to create it. So I'm like always, I'm trying to get there. I'm not like, oh, I created like this, because actually every single demon or whatever you're creating has its own needs. So there is no like wrong or right here. It's trying out what kind of shapes are working and what kind of shapes you can combine together, and which shape is over the other one. I mean, this one, for example. This goes like lizard scales. They are going more like over each other, I think. So it's like my idea for this character. I don't know if this will work, but I will see. Mm. Yeah, German is hard to learn because we have very long sentences. In English, you are not using these long sentences or long um, words. Okay, I think I need some teeth for him because he is without teeth. It looks strange here. And I use cubes for teeth, especially on these front teeth here. And I think they are coming like to the front, like I don't know, like fangs. Like this. Oh, unfortunate. I used the wrong cubes. I wanted to have Q cubes, but I used this one. Anyway, Q cubes are better because these cubes are like pinched in, and yeah, they are not very usable for uh, anyway. I have to deal with it like when this happens with your like this, the chances are very high that ZBrush crashes. So save your progress. Okay, this works with zero mesh. First, I keep my model symmetric, and then I will do asymmetry on it. I mean, apply some asymmetric shapes there. So spend a lot of time on the front. And try to adapt, I mean, the front, the face itself, and then adapt this knowledge you gained here to the back, because we have no back view from him. Mm, are you using PureRef? No, I'm using just the ZBrush built-in reference, background reference. I get asked a lot about my references. I mean, how I get the references into ZBrush. It's actually a huge thing for most people. Yeah, to get their references into ZBrush, it's not easy made, and yeah, maybe they should work on it. I mean, it's a little bit annoying that I cannot move or scale this background image here. Luckily, I created just some days ago uh, human teeth, so I pretty much know how they work. So you are learning even through your uh, daily work. You learn a lot of anatomy or I don't know, like technical stuff like rendering, um, lighting, and this stuff. Um, Question to you: is PureRef good for using in ZBrush? I think I saw some people using it, but I never used it myself. Yeah, it has these very unhealthy gums. I think this goes more to this tooth. So keep an eye on your reference and be as close as possible to it. Actually, I need a bigger reference. I store my camera, my first camera, and store the background image to it, and I load this second one. Like this, and store the camera as a camera too, and store the image to this camera. So this is how this background thing works here. You have to put your reference in Photoshop and make it there. I mean, bigger and smaller. And like always, I stick as close as possible to the reference. It's not easy to recreate a character from a drawing. Just a pure drawing, I mean. Um, yeah, that's a good question. What must I do on my, or what must I add to my portfolio to draw attention from a studio? It's actually not easy to answer, and I have a course, or yeah, in my Patreon, I have a full video for this topic. So when you're interested to go more into depth and get some trainings and this stuff for your portfolio especially, then you can of course join my Patreon. But what I really recommend to do or what I really not recommend to do for your like professional, I don't know how professional you are, for your professional portfolio, do not create any fan art. This is what I learned. Of course, I'm doing fan art on my uh, YouTube and this stuff because I want like to draw attention to my YouTube content. But when you are a professional artist, do not create um, I would recommend to not create fan art at all. Any fan art. And there are many reasons for this. I mentioned it in my portfolio video on my Patreon. So when you want to learn or when you want to know why this is, why you do not create, why you shouldn't create fan art for your portfolio, then yeah, like I said, check out my Patreon. I have a full video for this and other stuff. Yeah, like what you should learn, where you should start, and what my opinion is on free tutorials and self-taught artists and this stuff. But this is, like I said, this is something that you should absolutely avoid on your portfolio. And what you implement in your portfolio is like you watch a studio that you want to apply to and in some way recreate what they do. I mean the style, not especially not fan art of these characters from them, but like when you want to do more like Nintendo stuff, then do Nintendo stuff. I mean cute little Pokemon like creatures and this stuff, but no fan art. The lower button for background images. That sounds actually interesting. where do I find the floor? You do not mean this floor, floor, of course. Actually, I do not know what floor button this is, you mean. But yeah, sounds interesting with the different views, like you say. Uh, yeah, maybe I find it the next time, this floor button, and maybe I can watch a tutorial for this and use it. Yeah, you see what kind of effect this has when you stick to more to the original artwork. Spend a lot time with your original artwork, with your background image, because sometimes your these teeth were more like a little bit too flat, and when I push them towards this shape here, it becomes more interesting. So yeah, trust your 2D artist that he creates already a very good piece here, and yeah, stick to it, and be um, like a I don't know how to say it, like a plus to the studio, that you can recreate characters from artwork from other artists. I hope I can bring this point across. My English is not perfect. Oh, you mean actually this floor here, and you can apply a image for this floor? Sounds interesting. Sounds interesting actually. What do you mean by fan art? Yeah, they actually it's um, not an easy task, and it's just my opinion. When you create fan art that goes beyond like the original thing, like I mean, when you take um, Dragon Ball Z or whatever, when you take a character from there and create it super realistic or whatever, then you are going beyond this fan art. So you are showing that you are just using these shapes, but you are not recreating this character from Dragon Ball Z. Um, yeah, this makes sense, but actually, I made this, and of course, everyone makes his own experiences. I experienced that studios are not wanting you um, to create fan art too much. Of course, you can have here and there, I don't know, one, two fan art pieces, of course, but not too much. I said not too much. But like I said, of course, you can have luck, and the studio you are applying is not giving a um, yeah, like they do not care as long as you are creating very good artwork, then it's absolutely okay to do fan art. I don't know. So this is my experience, and of course, everyone has its own experiences. And yeah, like Blizzard and the studios are hiring people, and maybe they are creating fan art then. I mean, after they are applying to Blizzard. I don't know. Um, would be interesting to know. But when you are a beginner artist, then I do not recommend to use fan art or to create fan art. Of course, you can do what you want. It's just my opinion. When you think like, oh, I'm creating fan art and I was hired at Blizzard and I don't know what, then yeah, sure. Why not? It's absolutely okay. And it's yeah, good for you. But I experienced another feedback and another behavior from studios that they told like, oh, you're doing too much stuff that is familiar actually with other stuff, and we want more original stuff like on your portfolio. Can you create something that is not uh, that you cannot see in on any other media? But everyone has its own experiences on this topic. Oh, you mean you place planes and then you map your references onto the planes. This is what I understood. Mm, King Wolfman, I think it still looks bad as a portfolio. What do you mean uh, by it looks bad as a portfolio? Okay, I'm no, I'm not. I'm not. The question is if I do create 2D 2D stuff on my own. No, I'm absolutely not a 2D artist. I was drawing a lot. I I think I told it already on many streams that I was drawing a lot as a teenager and in my school time and student time. But I'm not creating 2D art at all, concept art or illustration. Um, a good course for environment artists for ZBrush. Actually, I do not know any. Um, I think you shouldn't focus too much on ZBrush when you're creating environment art. I mean, ZBrush for environment artists is more like you export it to ZBrush and then you refine your piece. But I think most environment artists are creating their stuff in uh, tradi um, traditional 3D programs like Blender or Maya, 3ds Max. So I really recommend to watch um, Blender Guru for Blender. I did this um, donut donut on my own when I was relearning Blender because I was learning Blender earlier, but I had to relearn it. And I used Blender Guru for relearning Blender. I really recommend to watch his videos. And yeah, for ZBrush, I don't know actually because I'm not watching too much tutorials on my own. Just when I do not know a specific function or a specific button, then I watch for this function, but um, I actually don't know the names of the channels. I duplicate the oh, something went wrong again, and like I always say, save your progress when things happen in ZBrush, because you see like here something happened, I don't know what, and the chances are very high that ZBrush crashes. I lost track about the questions. Yeah, actually, of course, I'm absolutely I understand your opinion that 3D artists are recreating what 2D artists do, and of course, you can watch like Dragon Ball Z or whatever and say like, okay, I'll recreate this 2D piece to the 3D in a 3D character. I'm absolutely on your side. Uh, I really enjoy creating fan art on my own. I have a lot fan art, but like I said, I experienced that many studios do not want it. And you can, of course, try it on your own. Just create a portfolio with fan art and watch if you can, if the studio will employ you. The chances are, I think chances are a little bit higher to be employed when you're not creating fan art. But like I said, it's just my opinion, and it's just my experience. I push the chin a little bit more further, so to create more space for the lower jaw. Like so it makes this curvature here. I mean on fan art, like it's I think when you get employed, then it's not because you are creating fan art, it's because you are good as an artist. And I think some studios will be like, okay, he is good enough, and we do not care if he creates fan art. Or maybe I don't know, maybe some studios do not care at all. Yeah. Um, Another question. When you are using Blender, King Wolfman, when you are using Blender, then it's absolutely fine because other software you can relearn or yeah, when the studio says like, oh, we want you to use Maya, it's absolutely okay to be an Blender artist and then to relearn Maya if they really want you. I mean, if they really want you to use Maya, then you have to relearn it in Maya. But yeah, when you can use Blender, then it's absolutely fine. So don't think that a studio will not employ you just because you are using Blender. And Blender is getting more and more like established in the industry. I drew these lines here on purpose, these ones, because I can orient. Now I can orient myself over the surface. These lines are helping me to get more, um, sticking more to the surface here. Build a nice and organic flow so it looks from believable from every angle. And watch it from below as well. More questions? Yeah, absolutely. They will accept Blender when you are a good artist. Then they will accept Blender. And if you are willing to learn other software as well. So they tell like, okay, for the first 2 months you can use Blender, but for the rest you have to learn Maya. And are you willing to learn Maya? This is what they want to know. And if you say yes, then you have to learn Maya as well, using Maya. I think this demon comes to a pretty good stage. I think the eyes could be more deep inside, but I will see in the when I get to the next step, to the next like detailing step. It's very interesting piece artwork that like forms and shapes are overlapping each other, and it's very interesting to see it and to work on it. Another thing that I really recommend to my students is to have a huge variety of artwork in your portfolio. So when you are creating characters, then of course monsters and this stuff, female, male, childs, or whatever. I really recommend to work on many different characters. Of course, here as well, it's just my opinion. So when you do just have a one piece on your portfolio, and you are applied or you are employed in the industry, then of course it can happen that you just have one piece in your portfolio, and the studio says, okay, that's enough. You are employed, of course. This could happen, but it happens just to one person in from out of I don't know, a million or maybe 1,000. I don't know. Um, so just because it happens to one person doesn't mean that it happens to all people in the world. Like my own experience doesn't mean that when I experience this, then everyone will experience this. But yeah, you can find it on your find out on your own if you want. Think the cheeks are too dominant here to sticking too far out. What happened? What happened with the teeth? I actually don't know what you mean. Um, you mean this that they were like inverted, maybe? Yeah, actually, I don't know. Sometimes things happen on in ZBrush, and I don't know what it is sometimes. Like I always say, ZBrush is not perfect as a program. But yeah, I still enjoy working with it. You mean still the oh, I think I didn't read. Yeah, the fan art, still the fan art topic. Um, I think you did it like you did a good choice to not having fan art on your portfolio. This is what I wanted to say. So when you do not have any fan art, and maybe this is the reason why you are employed, and maybe this is the reason why other artists struggle with employment to be employed. I don't know. Um, let's see our first camera again. So sometimes when you switch cameras, of course the focal length is changing, and your piece changes. I think I need it in the middle. My plan was to work more here so you can see more the artwork, but actually I don't like it to work at this left side. I like to work in the middle. So I will I will put it right there. I think it's better to have it in the middle. Horns can be bigger, and let's see. I'm just drawing these details here. Like the cheap way, I want to see if this adds like if this detail or these shapes here make sense in yeah, on a demon like this. Of course, I recommend to watch work of other artists when you have no idea what you're doing. Of course, you can have a look how other artists do these demons and monsters and this stuff. So learn from other artists as well. So like let me see. So you have to find a one like shape language for this character and stick with it. But it's actually not easy. So yes, the question before, you have to learn anatomy a lot. And of course, gain a huge shape, like how it's called, a library in your brain, in your yeah, when you sculpt a lot or when you work a lot, then you gain a bigger shape library in your brain. Like what kind of shapes can you use for this and this character? I think I can create this shape here more like a skull. Maybe more like a combination of a skull. I think this part here is too dominant again. This one should be more subtle because it takes too much attention. Like this, and here could be more a hint of a skull or whatever, like a shape, of a real human skull that indicates that this could be related to a yeah, to a human anatomy. I hope this makes sense. I hope I can show you what I mean. Like a shape of a human skull that is um, still visible. So the threat of this creature can be even more when you think about like, oh, he has like something familiar in there. But of course, it's just a like just trying out and thinking about what to do with his forehead because I was not happy with it. So when you are, as an artist, are not happy with the outcome, then maybe there's something wrong. And I mean, your players or colleagues will notice that there is something wrong with this character. Like this, and I think I like this idea to have a like some kind of forehead. It takes it a little bit more away from the original artwork, and I can of course create then more details like these folds here. But it's of course a design process here. Paying for concept art, actually, I don't think that it's necessary to pay for it. I think most 2D artists are very like when you contact them and say like, hey, I want to recreate your concept art, is it okay for you? I think most of them are pretty fine with it. This is what I experienced. So when I was contacting artists to use their work, they were like, yeah, sure. And when you share your model with them, I mean not the 3D model, I mean your image you're creating or on your portfolio. So they can use your images for their portfolio. Sure. And I don't think that you have to pay them for it. But yeah, ask them, of course. And like I said, I don't think that anyone will say, "Oh no, I don't want," because it's in honor. I think when a 2D artist would come to me and say like, "Hey, I like what you do, and do you want to create one of my characters, recreate them in 3D?" Then it would be, of course, an honor for me when the character is cool and yeah, when I like the character, why not? And the other way around as well. So when you go to a character artist and tell like, I like your artwork, is it okay when I recreate it in 3D and animate it, and you can watch actually your character come true, sorry, um, then I think they will not say no. But of course, asking is always a good idea. Um, yeah, if you are not sure, of course, ask. I had to break up this piece a bit because it was too dominant on the forehead, and it was too big actually, and it's still too much. I think I have to build it down like this. Yeah. Um, but actually, I didn't see any artwork where was like, oh, do not create 3D characters from it, because actually people enjoy it to see their creation coming true as a 3D art as a 3D piece. Of course, you do not um, sell it. That's a complete different thing. But as long as you do not sell it or use it for your fan game, or I mean, not fan game, I mean for your indie game or whatever, I think most people are pretty fine. Pretty fine with it. You mean that someone was selling? You saw someone selling pieces from other artists. Yeah, it's not very common that yeah, people are like, oh, I recreate this piece and sell it, and and actually selling 3D models is not as profitable as many people think. I think the lower jaw is a bit too big. Yes. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think the same. Most people are not telling you, oh, you're not allowed to do it. Because actually you are a 2D artist or a concept artist for purpose. And actually you want your stuff going more popular and seen by more people and yeah, being recreated by a 3D artist. Yeah, I hope you like my demon here so far. I want to get more used to more free like free form or free like more amorphic stuff like monsters, demons, whatever. I hope you enjoy the sculpting, even if it's not perfect. I know it's not perfect. I know it's could be like more um, uh, worked out and more detailed and this stuff. But this is actually um, not new, but I'm not doing it too often. I think it was a little mistake to create the teeth uh, from from a cube. I think I should stick more with round shapes because I was creating these frontal teeth with cubes, and it's absolutely fine to do it. But the rest I should use more a sphere and make it long. But anyway, it's a learn process. Geometry here is not perfect for sculpting. And I will create then, later I will create a ZBrush model. And for shapes like this, do not use smoothing too much, because actually from these brushes and yeah, from these brushes you get a lot of details, like happy accidents, you can use for your design then. I used Dynamesh earlier when I was creating this overall shape, and now I'm using how it's called, subdivision levels, to higher my polygon count, because when I navigate, when I have no when I do like these 1.5 million polygons, just in one like piece, like Dynameshed piece, then I will have some trouble with um, um, navigate navigate navigating navigation in this scene. So I use these subdivision levels, because you see when I move my camera, then it's going some subdivision levels lower, so I can navigate, and then it goes higher again, so I can work again. So I'm just using Dynamesh for form building. Um, why did you block me on Grindr? Actually, I have no Grindr. I have no idea. ZRemesh is, yeah, is actually pretty cool for getting edge loops and this stuff. But I still use subdivision levels, even if I ZRemesh my model. I think this could be a little bit more flat, like this. Okay, I actually don't know exactly what you mean by freeze freeze and unfreeze the geometry. So when you mean when you go to ZBrush and then here, I don't see any freeze borders. I don't know what you mean actually. And I recommend to start at this, like at this distance, and to go further and further and further, and then you end up here and work on some details like pieces. And I say like do not smooth too much because you get these lines and these uneven lines here. You can use actually for pretty cool details, like change direction here and there when you draw a line like this, especially on a more free piece like this. Change the direction to get very cool details like here. Forms are going into each other and forming like shaping these very cool like wrinkles. Of course, a demon. We know how wrinkles are working on a human character, but a demon should have more wrinkles and maybe other wrinkles. I hope this makes sense to you. Yeah, and you get it when you change the direction here and there, just slightly. And I really recommend to have some kind of 2D background. So I'm coming from drawing. Actually, I have a 2D background, and I use my brushes more like a pencil, more like a um, yeah, more like a brush actually. Or I try it. Of course, it's not like it's not perfect. Like I said, I'm not creating demons and monsters a lot, and it's of course it's a learning process even for me. Mostly I'm creating humanoid characters. Mm, it's under the divide button, but under my divide button I have these dynamic subdivisions. I don't know if you mean this. Maybe it's a newer version. I don't know. I'm always using old stuff. um, Never change a running system, so I'm using always old PCs, old screens, whatever. Under delete. Oh, this one. I got it. Free subdivision levels. Okay, and then when I hit this one and then I ZBrush, then it works like it keeps the Subdivision levels. Okay, I have to try it. Thank you for this tip. Actually, I never used this button here. Thanks. Thank you for this tip. Now I'm breaking the symmetry. Just on the teeth. I don't want to break the symmetry overall, but just on the teeth, just to have a look. Uh, what what could be missing? Maybe. And watch for stuff that could be missing here and there. Sometimes I feel like a dentist when I work on teeth of a character. So you break the symmetry when you are sure that you are satisfied with the rest, or when yeah, like when you're satisfied with the overall look. But of course, you can break the symmetry even later. A very underrated brush in ZBrush is, to my opinion, the inflate brush. So I use it a lot for organic parts. And he has a deep cut here. And I'm asking myself if I can create like a cut here to show like he could open his mouth even like this. Even more. I think I like this idea to have him the ability to open his jaw even more when this would be a movie monster, or no, like here a huge cut and then a like a second joint that opens his mouth like a predator. So this is something that what I really enjoy to develop this character or this monster even more. So the original artist was making a artwork and I create a character from it. This is something you have to enjoy when you do this job, to develop even more characteristics of the character. So it gives him a more like amorphic nose. Like this, and here down here as well. So he can open his, I don't know, this lower teeth. He could like a snake or whatever. So here a huge cut like here, and of course, do not just go like this cut and that's it. Try to uh, try to develop the borders of this cut as well. So like when you do a cut like this, then yeah, pinch this border a little bit more so it doesn't look just like a brush stroke. Mm. Okay, let me see how long I'm streaming already. about 2 hours. I think and actually I have no idea how many people are watching actually. I think 25 or so. Yeah, actually I like the outcome. Um, and yeah, one of my like I'm not doing monsters and demons a lot, so I'm pretty happy with the outcome until now, and maybe I will spend more time on monsters and demons and this stuff. I should because I'm creating some stuff of some things for my portfolio. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this stream. I hope you enjoyed this piece. It's not finished, of course, and it needs a lot of time more. But yeah, I hope you learned something. I hope we could discuss many things about portfolios. Of course, like I said, it's of course an opinion. It's of course discussable, or we can discuss about it. What is best for your portfolio and this stuff. Um, and yeah, when you can apply to a job with fan art, please tell me. I would love to see your portfolio, or I don't know. Maybe you can share, and maybe I can learn something from you. Um, yeah, like I said, I hope you learned something, and when you want, you can um, support me as an artist and support this channel so it goes more into depth, or more I can create more time, or more videos with more time, and so on. Visit my Patreon, and maybe something is for you there, and you can enjoy the courses there and learn from them. And yeah, I hope to see you soon again. I don't know when I will stream again. I think about Wednesday or Thursday. Let's see. And yeah, until then, have a good night, and bye bye.